Okay, what I'm going to be talking about now is a way to enhance photos or modify photos by using layer blending techniques. Um, this is a photo that I shot of peppers from my garden a while ago, I don't know, last year or year before or something. And let's say that I want to use it in an ad or a cover or something like that, and I decide I want to spiff it up a little bit with a starburst. Well, some of you are probably aware of starburst filters, which are basically just a clear glass filter with etched lines or incised lines that are at 90 degrees to each other. And what happens is when you put it on your lens, wherever there's a point light source, like sunlight bouncing off of a car or chrome, or the most notable one that you've seen a lot, Christmas tree lights, wherever there's a point light, you get a little cross star diffraction pattern that has kind of a rainbow in it. Okay, so we're going to use that idea to put a starburst in here. Here is a shot that I did. This is black cardboard with a hole in it with a real bright quartz light behind it and a starburst filter on the lens. And by just experimenting a little bit and figuring out the exposure, I decided this was a good one. So what I'm going to do, I'll move that out of the way. I can just drag from the layer palette into this document. Oop, not in the right place. So there we are. Okay. Now, you can see that this isn't going to do us much good right now. So switch to my move tool, drag it in here. Now there's a number of ways we can blend layers. And if I click up here in the blending mode, you can see that there's this batch right here, which are all things that darken. Now what darken means is anything that's darker in this top layer than what's below it is what will show up. This batch are the lighten layers. The lighten modes, and that's what we want because we want this light stuff to show up on top of our pepper. So I'm going to click first of all lighten, and you can see what happens. Now we have this starburst which we can move around wherever we want, and it looks pretty good. Now another thing we could try is screen. Screen multiplies the pixels, the top pixels with the bottom pixels to get a result, and this is actually a little bit more starbursty. Okay, now once we've got it in here, we can use the, what do you call it, the transform palette under edit. And here is the transform palette. I usually get to it by a different means, which is a keyboard shortcut. On the Mac, it's Command T. This little bounding box is showing where the image is in this layer. And you can see it turns to a little curved line here. I can rotate this. If I hold down the Shift key and drag a corner, it keeps the aspect ratio the same. And I want this a whole lot smaller. And as far as rotation, I don't know. I think like that. Once I have it the way I want it, I can either double click inside the box, or up in the toolbar there's a little check mark that I can click. So I'm just going to double click here, and there we are. Now I'm still with my move tool, so I can still move it around, and I think maybe, well, that's a little bit too much in the middle. We could put it out here, I'll just put it there for now. If I want more of them, I can just go to my layer palette, and I can either do Command J to copy, or I can drag it down here to the copy box, and then we have another one. So now I can move that one somewhere too. That's a little bit too much, so I'm going to drag this down to the trash and get rid of it. Okay, now we could also, like you can use it for other things, obviously. I could, for example, put a beam of light in my eye like that. Isn't that nice? So that's how you can adjust images by using different blending modes in the layer palette.